Welcome, welcome, everybody. We are here today on a special day. We are here for Sherry Berry's live book launch party for her brand new book out today. Do. It's your turn. So honored to be with you here today, Sherry. So before we kind of get stuck in and start the celebration, do you want to just give us a little idea of what your book's about? Because there are some people who are joining us for the first time who don't know you and don't know your book. So let's talk about your book today and you.
Yeah, thank you, Jillian. It's so fun, and I can't wait to see where everybody's tuning in from here. So, thank you for everybody and being here for the support. I was a military spouse for 20 years, and it wasn't until my husband retired from the military that I realized how much that lifestyle of stress and just the pace of life really hit me. And I fell into coaching through all of this. My husband handed me the American flag at the retirement ceremony, which is in the book. That story's in the book. And he said, "It's your turn." And I felt the exhale of the pressure of everything that I was trying to hold all together. And it wasn't until I sat in the parking lot of my doctor's visit afterwards, and I was in midlife and I was having everything kind of coming at me. Kids were launching, my identity was shifting, my husband was in this shift of careers. And I thought, you know what? I haven't been taking care of myself. And it became very obvious because I started to have symptoms in my body that now I relate to my stress, menopause, perimenopause. But it isn't just this. This is like everybody in the world right now. Everything is so noisy, and we put so much incredible pressure on ourselves. And I just felt like, somebody needs to write about this story of being a military spouse, but there's so many people who can relate to this story of feeling like you're holding everything together and you're under this vice, and seeing the impact that it has on your health is a big wake up call. So that really was kind of the spark of it all. And then I went to a writing retreat, which I didn't have it was not on my radar to write a book. But when a coach said to me, "Do you have a story that can help inspire others?" And she shared this story of how a book changed her life. And I thought, oh my gosh, Resisting Happiness by Matthew Kelly was that book for me. I was at that segue. But it wasn't until I was at that retreat and my friend Tracy, who I met for the first time, I stood up, I declared my mission of making sure every woman felt heard, seen. And she said to me when I stood up and said, "I'm exhausted, I'm tired," the military spouse community, service spouses, all of these women are feeling such a pressure, and I'm so tired. We're an exhausted community. She came up to me crying with tears down her face and said, "Please write the book." And Tracy became just my anchor for when it got hard. It really was, I thought of Tracy. When I wanted to quit, I thought of Tracy. I made it about Tracy. And this is my love letter to anybody who is feeling that overwhelm in life and you feel stuck. You absolutely are not stuck. There is hope. You're not alone.
Love that. Love that. And I have to tell you that I have my copy here. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And I can tell you that this is a book I needed about 10 years ago when I was a homeschool mom. And so it just goes to show you, this is for anyone. That was going through the thing of raising kids and everything that I was volunteering and maxed out and overwhelmed and all that sort of stuff. Everything in here is applicable just to all the stuff we go through as women in our midlives when we're just juggling so many balls and we're just like, what about us?
Yeah.
I've run out of balls for me. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to let you know that it is
Oh, I'm
so applies to
so,
everybody.
so happy
Love
to
it.
hear that. Yeah, it's really, I coined the term helium hand. If you've read that story in the book of, being at an organization. I was a volunteer for many years as a military spouse. Many reasons were because I could not find employment. I was underemployed and unemployed for so long,
Mm,
doing 10 moves over the 20 years. And this is the story of military spouses that many people don't know. And, citing these numbers of anywhere between 21 and 30% is the military spouse unemployment rate. But it's more than that. It's the messy web that we all get entangled in as women when we feel like, what's our purpose? What is this adaptability, the invisible sacrifices that we're giving, the meaning in our life, these transitions? I mean, it's all balled up into it. And really, the undercurrent in all of it is our worthiness. When we
mm,
know we are worthy to take care of ourselves, that's when things change.
mm, mm. I agree. I agree. Amazing. Amazing. So in your book, you talk about something called CALM, CALM, CALM method. And it's a 4-step process. It's weaved throughout your book. Can you kind of explain a little bit about what those 4 steps are and how they might help women in midlife?
Yeah, I really, I did the work myself, in health coaching and life coaching, we say we're our own first client. And because we have to do the work on ourselves if we expect, when we're coaching clients to know what the work is. And this was like, I was my first test pilot, test guinea pig kind of thing. But what I found is in my own journey, I found these themes that kept coming up. And so calm is for clarity, taking a pause and getting really clear at what you want in your life, but not only what you want, but who do you want to be? We're in our lives doing all the time, and our worthiness, a lot of times, is tied to our doing. So we really want to anchor back into who do you want to be and what do you want in your life? And then that awareness piece is really what's slowing you down, what's stopping you. And what I found was there, and what I write in the book is 7 of the most common things that I hear women, and we all have them, women, men, we have these things that we say. We call them excuses, but they're really these boulders that stand in the way. I don't have time. I don't have permission. I don't have the finances. I don't believe in myself. There's all kinds of things. And then learning to listen to your body. When you want to say, you know, what's going on, sometimes we just need to stop and listen to our body. Our body is giving us so many signals. In the book, I write about my signals that I was getting 10 years before this event of being handed the American flag. And I wasn't paying any attention. I was just pushing through, and my body kept telling me, but I just wasn't listening. And so I really embed a lot of learning to listen to your body. And then the M is all mindset, this mindset
Mm,
shift that we have to say yes to ourselves, and not in a selfish way. Many people have that feeling and they get uncomfortable. If I put myself first, that's a bad thing. Actually, when you fuel yourself first, you're going to show up so much better. I'm a better mom and a wife and a friend and a businesswoman and a coach because I anchor into those core things that I need to do for myself. And the mindset piece is a huge part of that.
mm, mm. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So let's go ahead and check in and see who I've been asking everybody in the comments. Tell us where you're coming from today. So I think I will just go ahead and check. we have Jeff Young, who's coming in. He's the king of LinkedIn, and he is looking forward to hearing about the CALM method. So thank you, Jeff. And he says, Jillian and Shari, let's get to this book. Let's get this book party started. I love it. And here I've put in a link to the book, and just so that everybody can find it and access it. So we have Christine, woohoo, in the comments, and we love Christine. She's one of your magic helpers. We have Pamela, yippee. We have Marjorie. Margie is saying yay. We have Sonia saying, hey, look at all these wonderful people, Shari. It's awesome. Julie, wonderful, wonderful, with lots and lots of stars coming through. I love that. I love that. There's Leslie Alexander saying yay, your editor. So that's wonderful that she's here cheering you on. Rory's game. Hi, Shari. And we can see some are coming from YouTube, some are coming from LinkedIn. It's wonderful how it all goes together. We're coming in from Orlando. Awesome. So we have lots of Florida people. We're glad our Florida people are safe. Yay. You know, what a difference a couple weeks makes. So excited for you, says Pamela. So excited. Sonia says, Pensacola. We're coming in from Pensacola. I love Pensacola.
Memphis. I see Virginia, Annapolis. I love this. And I know Margie's coming in from Tel Aviv. So
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We got a global book launch going on here.
North Carolina. You know, one thing I really want to point out here is this is the community of support of women. I am a cheerleader for any woman who says, I want this. And the thing is we have to put our cheerleaders, we need to build our team, and having this friends and just family and those people who, they're not the naysayers. They're the ones saying, go hard, go blast off, that kind of thing. And that's what I want women and men. And honestly, this ripples into our families. The one thing that it makes me cry every time is when a client or someone tells me, you have no idea how this has changed my life with my family, my relationships. And sorry, I'm going to get emotional because it's so, when we do the work on ourselves and we start looking inward, there's so many gifts, and there's so much that comes from healing and having those parts that we feel and we want to hide. I say, don't hide them anymore. We've got to acknowledge the feeling. We've got to acknowledge some of the struggle, because that's what makes life great. It's like those are those times when we can really anchor into the good stuff. When it is good, you know, we're all going to have tough challenges, and we have to put people around us who support us and cheer us on.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. And you know what? It's that old song. It's your party. You can cry if you want to. It's just absolutely beautiful. But you know, it's like, it's funny, you know, on book launch day, it's a very emotional day for an author, because it's like you have a book in your head. You work so hard to get what's out of your head onto the page. Then you have to have your team of helpers that help get that book baby into the world. And today it got delivered. And it's for anyone who's ever been a mother, you know what it's like when you're there and you finally see your baby for the very first time. You get to see it, you know, and it's the same with being an author. When you get to see it, and it's like, it's your book, it's your legacy. But the big thing is not just for you. It's like, it's now going out in the world to make the world a better place. It's like your gift, your ideas, your legacy is now out there to like touch one, reach one, and just keep moving forward. So I just think that's just so awesome.
It's awesome. You know, the initial, I love that you brought that up, because the initial feedback, you know, even from beta readers was, oh my gosh, you know, messages of, I can't even talk. I want to give you a voice message, but I can't talk because I'm crying at how much I related in this book and how much you helped me see certain things. And just changing the relationship with our children right now, our kids need so much in this world filled with anxiety. We have to start looking at how we're modeling this in our own lives. So, that's the biggest thing too, is teaching my daughter that she gets to take care of herself. It can be very different. We don't have to self-sacrifice. I love, and I know my mom and dad are watching here. My mother-in-law, Kathy, is watching. They have sacrificed so much over a period of time, and no one was there really acknowledging all the sacrifices. And I think it's just really important to say you get to take care of yourself. You don't have to self-sacrifice at the point of where it impacts you and your health so much. So
Mm,
thank you.
mm. And I wanted to let everybody know you have a couple specials for your live book launch party today. And one of the specials, I'm going to go ahead and just tell everybody right now, you can get a copy of this book on the Kindle version today for 99 cents. And so that is the first gift that Shari is giving everybody because she wanted to make it accessible to everybody on book launch day. It's just until midnight tonight, and we're on Central Time here. So if you want it, get busy, get on over to Amazon and pick it up. Or I put the link in the chat to go to Shari's website, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up that banner now, that if you go to itsyourturnbook.com, you will see the information on how to buy Shari's book, and you just click on the buy button. It goes to Amazon, and then that way you can choose to get the Kindle for 99 cents today, or you might say, you know what, I want a hard copy in my hand. So, do either or do like me. I have both. I have the Kindle copy because I'm a digital nomad, always on the run. So I always like to have my Kindle copy with me, but I had to have I think I was the first person that ordered it. I was so
Yeah,
excited. I
I
was
just
like,
love all the messages that I've gotten. I've got my book, that kind of thing. And the one thing that I really want to point out too is, I made this book, so it is one of those, I almost think it's like a cookbook for life in a sense, if I can take that honor, is like, it's not a book to be just like collect dust on the shelf. You get to pull this out when you're like, I just don't even know how to say no to people anymore, or I'm feeling this like clutter in my life. Go to chapter 6 and start looking about how to clear the clutter. But the other thing is the book portal. That has
mm,
been a labor of love. And so there is a QR code in the book. And I have to give a big shout out to Robin and Tracy at Flip Flop Boss, because Robin has been amazing in this journey of helping me do the tech stuff. I don't do any of this alone, but in that book portal, I put the first module of the It's Your Turn courses in there absolutely free. I
mm.
called it the Quick Start course. It's there for all of you people out there who are book club people. Put book club in the chat. I want to make sure that you see there's a book club guide in there, so you can see that you can do this circle of reading the book together and doing these exercises that I put in there and making it building your community. So there's a Spotify playlist, there's a visualization in there, there's just a whole bunch. There's an interview with Tracy, there's an interview with Wendy and Madison at Charlie Madison, who designed the bracelet, which we have something special coming up about that. And there's just an interview with a client who went through the It's Your Turn program and how it changed her life. So there's all kinds of jam-packed things on that book portal. So that's another gift that's part of the book that I'm just so extremely proud of. And I see my husband saying,
Isn't that
congrats.
awesome?
John, obviously I loved him so much. I married him and got the last name Beery. Everybody always asks, how did you get that? Did you really choose that name? And I'm like, first date, I was like, oh my gosh, I will be Shari Biery if I marry this guy. So he is my biggest cheerleader. And he's heard the audio version, quote unquote, of this book so many times. So thank you Thank you to my daughter, Caitlin, my son, Kyle. They both have been big supporters. And Chris, so many people to thank. You know, it's like Christine Barrett has done so much behind the scenes with social media, and she designed the book cover. Her and
Beautiful.
Michelle Griffin were together. Leslie was an editor. There's just so many people. So that's the other thing, is just knowing that you can build your community and have people, and you just have to ask.
Mm,
Just ask. Know the
mm.
power in that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let me ask for a practical tip, if that's
Yeah,
okay, Sherry.
yeah.
I know that there's many women in their lives, and we're busy, and yet we feel guilty
Mhm,
prioritizing ourselves,
mhm.
and that kind of leads to, we don't have enough time. We start having self doubt. We start having guilt. So what are some tips that you can give us? Maybe just one quick tip from the book of
Mhm.
how to stop doing that.
Yeah, well, chapter 5 jumps right into that whole what is slowing you down, and just the not enough time piece comes up for so many of us, or learning how to say no comes up for so many of us. It really gets back to boundaries and how we spend our time. And so in the book there's a part where you can do a time audit. You can say, how
Mm,
am I spending my time? And just getting the priority power up practice is one where you can anchor into, like, what is on your calendar that makes you feel really good, and what are those things on the calendar that you wouldn't jump out of bed for. And we all have some of that stuff, but you know what I'm talking about. It's where we've overextended our helium hand, and we get to reestablish those boundaries. So, just realizing that you get to take care of yourself first is really a big piece in all of this. And giving yourself that permission is really looking at what is stopping you. And the question I love to ask is, if there was nothing stopping you, what would you do right now?
mm,
And that usually, coaching, we always say the answers are inside you. And
mm.
I just love facilitating, asking the questions and watching them all bubble up for someone.
I love that. I love that. Um, so we're gonna have a drawing in in
Mhm.
in a few minutes, and I was wondering if you wanted to talk about. So we've talked about the Kindle's 99 cents today. We're also gonna have a drawing, and maybe we should kind of get people starting it now so that we get
Mhm.
everybody collected.
Yeah.
And so tell us what the two drawings are. So it's pretty
2
exciting.
today, 2 today. So I have a hardcover copy that I'm gonna sign and send to someone here who, wants a copy of the hardcover. I'm happy to send that to you signed. If you wanna be entered into that drawing, you go ahead and put hashtag book launch. You can make it small or big there. And then the other one, and I just love these two girls, Wendy and Madison, with Charlie Madison. This is the bracelet that, when I spoke with Wendy, I told her my vision, like what the mission was all about. And we absolutely connected right away. And so go ahead and put ebook launch if you want either the
No, book
bracelet
launch. So
or,
hashtag book launch. That's what you
thank
gotta
you,
type in, and then we'll do a drawing. So we're gonna do the drawing first for the book and then for this bracelet.
bracelet. And the
Ooh.
bracelet, it's beautiful. She puts these cards with them that have the mission of it's your turn. And
Mm.
this is just, in coaching, we use an anchor. We always talk about what is a reminder in your world. So I was really wanting a reminder that we get to take care of ourselves. And you can see my lots of beautiful bracelets over at Charlie Madison, but this one definitely is super special to me. So
Wonderful,
I'll get
wonderful.
that away.
And the colors, it doesn't really show up as very well, but the colors are your blue
Mhm.
and to be honest with you, it reminds me of the ocean. So it's kind of like, to me, it would be like wearing a bit of the ocean on my hand as a anchor to remind me of, like, that's your happy place, Jill. I'm gonna get to the
Yeah.
ocean.
Water and nature are like two of my nourishing. That is what connects me to the world. And, we're so disconnected in our lives. We spend so much time working indoors. We can just like, there is something about going outside and touching the earth. And I talk about that all the time. It's in the book, but it's really, we have to do this for ourselves. It's our charging station. So I love that you brought that up because it is two places that inspire me so much.
So should we go ahead and at least do the book
Yeah,
drawing now?
yeah,
So I'm going to
absolutely.
go
I love
ahead
seeing
and
all of these.
okay, so I should have it. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Side by side. Okay, hang on a minute. Okay. Here we
I
go. Okay, okay. So this is what everybody needs to type in the comments. Hashtag book launch. It doesn't matter if it's it doesn't matter if it's all caps, initial caps, small caps, doesn't matter. It's got to be all one word and you've got to have that hashtag in. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to hit go. Okay, so we've only got 5 entries, guys. Is there more? Is there
put them
more?
in, put them
Is
in.
is
Come
there
on, this
more?
is
Is
for
there more? Because
everybody.
we want to
You
make
know,
sure everybody's collected here. So let me
and
just
I'm
go
sure
back.
somebody needs a Christmas gift. Come
Okay,
on.
okay, okay. Oh, ugh, did I lose it? Oh,
It's
darn it.
okay.
Oh, darn
I
it.
love,
Okay.
I just want to give a big shout out here to Jillian and her husband, Devin. They have been pivotal. Behind the scenes of an author can be pretty raw and real of what goes on. And you all, through the connection, this is where community comes in. Michelle made such a great introduction that just led to Leslie and you. And you guys have
Thank
worked
you.
so hard in helping this launch this book baby out into the world.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Okay, so we got 10 entries, 10 entries. We want to make sure everybody's
yeah, let's
included. So this
are we
is
doing one versus the other first?
yep, yep, yep. So we're
Okay.
going to do the book first. We're going to do the book first, and then we will then draw for the bracelet. So that's pretty
Well,
exciting. So we're at 10. So do we think we're good? Should we just go or give them a
just
couple more
go.
minutes?
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
Anybody
So
else? Last chance.
last chance. Type in fast. Type in fast. Okay. Here we go. I'm hitting draw.
Awesome. Ooh, I love this. This is so
This is
fun.
so fun.
Tick, tick, tick. Ah,
Michelle.
Michelle Griffin. I love it. It's awesome.
So Michelle,
Great.
you
Great.
get the autographed book. So that's
Awesome.
awesome. Awesome.
Yay.
So
That's
Sherry,
good.
do you want me to go ahead and move on to the bracelet or
Yeah,
you
let's
want
do the bracelet. I know
okay.
some people have been so generous in stepping away from or having their break right now for work.
Yep.
So I
So
love this.
okay.
And all of you, encourage people to watch the replay because I'll have a special treat for everybody who watches the replay too, if you start making comments in there. So make sure you do that. All right. This is for
Okay.
bracelet.
So it should be set so Michelle can't win the bracelet too because we don't want her to win both. So okay, so we're up to 7. We only got 7 entries for the bracelet.
That's
Come on guys,
okay.
the bracelet is so beautiful. The bracelet is so
Oh.
beautiful. If I could, I'd be typing it in myself. So
That's
here
so
we
good.
go.
Awesome.
Okay, so we're at 7 entries. Okay, I'm just gonna should we
Yeah.
call that good?
Yeah. Let's hit it. It's good.
Okay.
I love it. So good. It's awesome. I love technology and I'm so grateful for you to run all the technology on this.
Woo!
Monica!
Monica,
Yay!
Monica. So
Love it.
Monica is our winner. Are you already do you know how to
Yep.
reach out to Monica?
Yes, I
Okay,
know how to reach
wonderful.
both of them, so it's so good. I so appreciate everybody showing up and just the love and support from a book launch it's just incredible. This
Yes, it
whole
is.
journey, it's been 3 years, really, and I have so much admiration for anybody who writes a book. I'm always like, "I need to buy your book." If you took the time to write a book, oh my gosh, I know the work that goes into it, but I've always said, if it changes one person's life, it's so worth it to me.
Mm.
If it helps somebody, and that's what we're all trying to be is the light helpers for everybody in this world, making it a better place. So thank you.
I love it. I love it. And just to remind everybody, 99 cents today. Just go to Sherry's website or go to Amazon, either place, and get a copy of this book. It's a great book. I highly recommend it. And just, Sherry, exciting too that we can announce that you are already a #1 bestseller, #1 new release in several different categories. And that's always just so wonderful that it's like when you launch your book, you want to launch with a bang and to get to the Amazon bestsellers list. That is a great thing because you think you're competing with everybody across the entire world. So it's not just like, you in your one little town, it's worldwide. And it's wonderful to get that momentum on launch day. So that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's so awesome. And this just gets to everybody continue to be the ripple. That's the thing. That is the hope in the world. So thank you. I wouldn't be that Amazon bestseller if it wasn't for everyone here and everybody who's been so great and encouraging and cheering this whole mission. That's what it is. It's a mission of getting to say it's your turn too.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. And Sherry, best of luck. A wonderful book launch for you. So,
Thank
okay.
you.
Okay.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.